Today we're going to be going over 7 affordable fragrances that last forever. Great longevity out of these here, and you don't have to spend a lot for them. Now, unfortunately, there are some fragrances that are very expensive that don't last a long time. So it's not like when you pay more, you usually get a product that does have better longevity. That's not really how it always works out. However, your odds of spending more on something and having it perform better than some cheapies usually is better, because a lot of the more affordable cheap fragrances out there are on the weaker side. But again, there are some exceptions, just like everything. So if you're someone that's looking for good performance on a low budget, this video is going to be perfect for you. And we have a wide variety of things here for pretty much any time of the year. And we'll get things kicked off with a summertime scent. So this is going to be good for right now. And it's actually a new release of this year. But like the trend has been, it already hit discounters, and you can already get it for an affordable price. So this is AZZARO Chrome Parfum. Now, you know, retail-wise, you're looking at, I don't know, $80 or somewhere around in there, maybe a little bit more because this is a Parfum. However, it's popped up on discounters, and I think I saw this going for like $40, maybe $44 or something, which is pretty crazy. It happened that quick. It took AZZARO Chrome Extreme forever to get down to that price on discounters. I can still remember when that one was going for like every bit of $60, $65 on discounters, and that was years after its release. So they're definitely ahead of the game with this one, which is great to see because these retail prices are getting crazy. So I've tossed this one in a couple list videos. I did a first impressions on it. I really like it. I think it's actually one of the better flankers we've had from Chrome. And I think it's going to be one of the best ones yet. I don't think it's going to be possible to beat Chrome Extreme. I think that one probably is going to remain at the top of the list unless they come out with something really good. But this one's right next to it. It's got sage, fir resin, some bergamot in here. That's all they give you. Kind of a 3-note breakdown type of deal. But it's real aromatic, clean, modern. You know, that's kind of the modern deal, is using some citrus and a lot of aromatics. It does give it a masculine, kind of clean, refreshing type of edge to it. It's a true Parfum concentration, and it does have great longevity. Definitely one you should pick up if you can get it for below retail. Next up, let's go with FERRAGAMO UOMO Signature. Now, this one uses a lot of the similar accords that the original UOMO uses. So a lot of tonka bean and things like that, a lot of sweet notes. However, the difference between this and that is that this one here, Signature, is using some coffee and some leather. So one of the main downsides, I think, that some people find with the original is that it is so sweet that it's a bit too much sometimes, depending on, you know, what you like and what you're into. But the leather coffee combination in this one really balances it out a lot and actually gives it a little bit more of a masculine type of edge to it. So, you know, it's still gourmand. The original is still gourmand, but if you're someone who felt as it leaned kind of feminine or just unisex, this is one that kind of brings it back a little bit. And I think it's a fantastic flanker. You know, I still love the original. That one also could have been in this video, could have deserved a placement there because it does have great performance as well, great longevity. They're about the same price, the two of these. So it's just going to be one of those deals where you want to pick whichever one you like better. Try to sample them if you can, test them out, try them out, do whatever you got to do, or pick up both. They're both great to have around. But in terms of performance, you can't go wrong with either of them. Great stuff. And also, it should go without saying, but this one's going to be more for the fall and winter time. This next one also follows the cooler weather trends here. Bentley for Men Intense. It's an OG, and I love it. I absolutely love it because you can get this for like $30, okay? Pretty much any discounter. Pick your favorite discounter, $30. It is insane how affordable this one is. And again, I think this is amazing. I have to also issue this disclaimer every time. This is not something that everybody is going to like, both, you know, the person purchasing it to wear for themselves and also people around you. You know, it is something different. It's not a blue scent. It's not an aquatic scent. It's not a freshy. This has incense, it has rum, there's some leather in here, it's smoky, it's spicy, it's masculine, it's woody, it's a little bit more mature, a little bit old school smelling. It is truly a man's scent. And if you're someone who is fed up with the new style, which is, you know, a bunch of sweet scents and things like that, or an iris or whatever it is, you don't like that stuff, you want something more traditional for the winter time, this is going to really give that to you. And also, again, you know, it has a kind of a more mature smell to it is the best way of putting it. So, you know, for me, I have no problem pulling it off, no problem wearing it. I enjoy it, but I would say most really young guys out there and teenagers out there probably aren't going to like this one, but to each their own. At this price point, it's something you cannot beat. The performance is incredible, both projection and longevity. And I've said this before, if this was going for 80 bucks on discounters, I would still love it. I would still buy it. I wouldn't be as excited about it though. But the fact that you can get this one for the price that you can get it at, to me, is mind-blowing. I mean, this is some impeccable quality for cheap price here. Kind of jumping back over to the brand of AZZARO. I have to give it to AZZARO. They are a fantastic, affordable fragrance brand that knows what they're doing. Well, not fragrance brand, designer brand that does fragrances, and they happen to do a very good job at them. This one is AZZARO Visit Pour Homme. Kind of following a similar trend to the Bentley. Okay, so this one's got incense as well, cedarwood and pink pepper. There's some nutmeg in here. Very warm, spicy, very woody. Doesn't really have the booziness going on. Doesn't really have the same type of old school smell in the same type of way as the Bentley does. It's still more traditional, still masculine, but with a different approach. And between the two, Bentley for Men Intense and this one, I would say the AZZARO would be more mass-pleasing, easier to pull off, more likable. So it's nowhere near as daring as the Bentley. If you don't want to go that far yet, this is a great option for you. Similar vein, kind of, just because it's a woody, spicy, but there's still different scents. But it kind of can achieve a similar result if you're kind of looking for that. And again, pricing here is, I don't know, $29, $30, $35. It's just within that range. It's very affordable. Packs a big punch here. Great longevity, great projection, and also great quality for this price point. And also, I've said this before as well, but the presentation is very misleading. You know, on paper, or rather on the computer screen, when you look at pictures of it, you see the clear bottle, silver with the blue fragrance color. You might think of a freshie or an aquatic perhaps, or better yet, a blue fragrance, right? It couldn't be further from any of those. So definitely make sure that you understand this is not what it looks like it would be. Okay, we're gonna go to PACO Rabanne. Now, sometimes they have expensive scents, right? Other times they're more affordable. It just depends on what you're looking at. But this is one that's been around for years at this point. It's gone through a bottle redesign. So like on discounters now, sometimes you'll see the old packaging, sometimes you'll see the new packaging. They're the same thing. They just changed them up to kind of fit in with their new style bottles. That's all it is. But it's Black XS, again, by PACO Rabanne. It's an interesting one, very sweet. It's got praline. There's quite a bit of lemon in here. You get some vanilla, you get some tonka bean, all of that stuff. Nice heavy duty bottle. Again, this is the new packaging here. And it's a PACO Rabanne. You got to remember that. What does that mean? That means they are putting mass appeal and compliment factor first and foremost, like they do with most things. They follow the trends. They're very good at it. But for us fragrance enthusiasts, might not be the most exciting thing. This is not like PACO Rabanne Pure XS Night, where it's actually really interesting. This is a little bit more basic, a little bit more stripped back, not a ton going on. But on discounters, you can get this one for a really competitive price, and it does have great performance. Let's jump over to Versace, and this is another designer brand that kind of does a good job of maintaining that mid-range price point, you know, on discounters, that is, not retail. They have a lot of fragrances out there that fall in a similar kind of price range, and it's a very competitive price range as well. That's where a lot of people like to be because it's affordable, right? You're not paying an arm and a leg for it, but you're also not spending, you know, $20 and maybe getting something that you're not fully happy with. They're in a really, really special spot here with their pricing on discounters. Very competitive again. And with that, they have done a very good job of really providing some great quality, great performing scents within that price range. This one happens to be EROS Flame. It's one of the more affordable EROS scents that you can get on discounters. Now, the Eau de Toilette is one that's also very affordable, but like the new Parfum is going to be, you know, closer to like $80. The Eau de Parfum is a little more expensive. The Flame version is one of the more affordable ones again. And I like this one a lot because it's a more kind of citrus aromatic take on the EROS DNA. So you still get the sweetness and those familiar tropes, you know, the vanilla and the tonka bean and the apple, but you're also getting some lemon and some lavender aromatics and things like that in here. A little more citrusy, a little bit more fresh, kind of more fruity. Still very sweet, but they add a lot of balance to that sweetness, which is why I like it. Ultimately, it smells fantastic. That opening, I actually kind of want to go for another spray. I might wear this tonight. It's one of those deals that for whatever reason I tend to neglect this one a little bit. I love EROS, not afraid to admit it. I usually go for the Parfum, but I have to say the Flame, this smells awesome. I forgot how good this was. It's an Eau de Parfum, and it's got great performance, great quality as well for a very reasonable price. This is a great one that you shouldn't sleep on. And we'll jump back over to PACO Rabanne to finish this video off. Again, they've really got some interesting stuff going on all across the board, a bunch of different things. It's Ultra Red. So you guys probably remember the whole saga behind this one. It was, you know, impossible to get for a while, and then all of a sudden you could get it and still can. Again, most of your favorite discounters now will have this one in stock, and generally they're in the $30 range, low 40s. Blood orange, praline, tonka bean. It kind of has a little bit of a Mugler's Ultra Zest type of thing going on somewhat, although it's sweeter and it is more PACO Rabanne, being that it really is just sweeter, and it has that PACO Rabanne flair that they kind of introduce into all of their scents pretty much. So it's more designer-ish, it's more mass-pleasing. They're focusing on the mainstream side of things here more than Mugler did, because if you guys remember all of the amazing scents that Mugler put out and have since then discontinued, like your Pure Malt, Pure Havane, Pure Coffee, Pure Wood, Pure Tonka, so many absolute bangers that just don't really hold up in the mainstream, you know. That's just the unfortunate thing about it, you know. I don't know, it's a bummer, but PACO Rabanne, they're, you know, a little bit more safe when it comes to basically making sure they're making as much money as possible. A great longevity out of this one, great performance overall. Concentration wise, we have, it's actually only an Eau de Toilette. Kind of surprises me, but it still does have fantastic performance. Alrighty guys, 7 fragrances that don't cost a lot, however they do have great longevity. I'll drop links to these down below for you. Also, I want to make you aware of my mailing list and my texting list. Just within the past couple days here, we had several hundred units of Dior Homme Parfum pop up, which is a very rare find. We've had stuff like Polo Supreme Cashmere, Polo Supreme Leather, Mercedes-Benz Club Extreme, all rare discontinued fragrances show up as well. So every time stuff like that pops up, I do send out a notification to my email list and also my texting list. And I also notify you of any big sales that pop up, you know, 48-hour flash sales and stuff that can be easy to miss. So get on that list at the first link down below for email, and send any text to the number down below for text alerts. I highly recommend both, and especially the text, because you get that straight to your home screen, and then you will not miss out on all of those amazing rare finds. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.